We're back. Adam Pellerin, Ountae, Campbell. Let's hold my banner. Thanks for joining us once again. We'll talk some Celtics Summer League a little bit. And the opponent they're playing tonight, the Lakers, and Bronny James. We'll talk about his dad, too.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit about his dad. The other team that plays in L.A. making a significant move as well, in addition to their roster, the L.A. Clippers. Is it enough to get them over the top? We'll talk about that, too. Before we get to the start of the show, I just got to ask you, as always, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm excited. We got Red Sox baseball tomorrow.
Yeah, we do.
So I'm excited to see what that team looks like. And, yeah, man, I mean, WNBA All-Star Weekend is coming up this weekend. I'm excited to watch that. That should be a lot of fun. Angel and Caitlin and all that noise always coming back to us. You know, it's just going to be a fun weekend.
Packed house, by the way, at TD Garden.
Yeah.
Indiana Fever, Connecticut Sun. That was awesome to see. Wasn't great to see Caitlin Clark get injured again, obviously. So you're hoping for the best there. We know how much she means to the WNBA and its ratings, right? Because those numbers, this is no lie. But in terms of the NBA and the team that calls TD Garden home, the Boston Celtics, we're going to kick things off with our mailbag, man.
Yeah.
The viewers are weighing in, and we love to see that. So let's get off and running with that. We'll start with Kevin Sullivan, 3148. And this is something that we had talked about as it relates to the Celtics roster and the potential of maybe going after a Damian Lillard to play point guard, not this year because of the injury, but the following season, 2 years from now. How about the here and now? Who's the starting point guard for the Celtics? And he says, you know, Payton Pritchard has given us a sample already at starting point guard. People forget a few years ago when certain dudes were out. And these are Kevin's words. He flourished, scoring double digits last 10-plus games, starting level competition. So that's important, obviously, to do it against the other team's best as well. He said Payton Pritchard should be the starting point guard unless Dame Lillard comes to Boston, okay? So, all right, so as the roster stands right now, is Payton Pritchard your starting point guard?
No. And it's not,
no, Kevin.
No. And I hear what Kevin's saying. There was the moments where Payton was a starter and he did a lot of great things against playoff-level competition, high-level NBA competition, and he did that. But one thing about NBA players, pro athletes just in general, you got to prove it every night. And when you're a starter for spurts, like that Linsanity run, when Jeremy Lin was a starter, and it was great. It was great for 2 weeks. But then when he had to be that guy every single night for the Knicks, and when he had to be that guy every single night for the Lakers, and all the other teams that Jeremy Lin ended up playing for, the Warriors, and you know all that other stuff, he wasn't the same guy, right? Same thing with Payton Pritchard. I think we found lightning in a bottle. I think we found the epitome of who Payton Pritchard's role is. Did I ever want Jamal Crawford to be a starter? No. Did I ever want Manu to be a starter? No. Did I ever want Lou Will to be a starter? No. Because they were so good at coming off the bench, scoring 20-plus points a game, and getting their teams to victories, which they needed to do. Payton Pritchard is that kind of star in the rights of a sixth man. He's going to walk away, at least in Boston, one of the legends of a Manu, of a Jamal Crawford, of a Lou Williams, because he is that good. And I agree. I am totally with you. He's a high-level player in this league. But I like it coming off the bench. And I would love to see that starting lineup of Anthony Simons, if no deals are made, as we stand today as you're talking, and D. White together with JB in the backcourt. That would be amazing.
Yeah, they can both handle the ball. They'd be just fine. I think Derek White's your starting point guard, though, right? It stands right now with Simons in the backcourt. Maybe he plays off the ball, right? I mean,
whoever.
Well, whoever. It doesn't really matter. They're interchangeable right there. You don't have a true conventional Drew Holiday type of point guard on your roster outside of Payton Pritchard. But to your point, I agree with you, man. Like, Payton Pritchard is great in that role off the bench. And it's like one of those things, you know, and again, you know, I'm not a huge fan of cross-sport examples, but I'm going to make one anyway.
Go ahead.
Because you mentioned the Red Sox, I'm going to make a baseball analogy here. And you talk about somebody who might be very productive hitting in the 7, 8, 9 hole in the lineup. And then you think, man, they're really raking. Should they move up in the lineup? And it's like, no, he's good right there, you know, because it's like it's a much different story when you're hitting 2, 3, 4 rather than when you're hitting 7, 8, 9, right? You get pitches to hit. in this case with Payton Pritchard, it's like, okay, like here comes scoring off the bench, bam, 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 right? When you're the starting point guard, you're facing the team's best right out of the chute, and you know, I'm not saying that Payton Pritchard can't do that job. But I don't want to take him out of what he's good at, if that makes sense, right?
100%. And I'm with you. I'm not saying that he couldn't be good as a starter. It's more about going with what you know. With this team having a lot of, inconsistencies right now, we're not sure what they're going to be. We're not sure if JB can lead a team. We're not sure what they're going to look like without Tatum. We're not sure who's going to be the starting center. I need something that is a sure shot. And I know Payton Pritchard off the bench, 6-man, is a sure shot. As sure as it gets.
Yep, no question. All right, so let's get to the Damian Lillard question. All right, so this is from our guy or girl. I think it's guy because it says man in there. ENR man.
Yeah, ENR man. I think that's
cool.
right.
All right. So on Damian Lillard choosing the Celtics in free agency.
Yeah.
Dreaming is free. But Damian Lillard will likely sign with the highest paying team. Why would he settle for less money? While $22 million a year sounds great, even more, $22 million or more, sounds even better. The Celtics don't have that financial flexibility to sign him unless they're willing to sacrifice a couple of big contracts. Okay, so I agree with the financial flexibility part. The whole idea of trading Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday was to get under that second apron to reduce the salary. That was going to happen whether they won the title or not, Jason Tatum injury or not.
Yeah.
So I agree with that part, but I don't agree with Damian Lillard wanting money in this situation.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we're going to talk about Bradley Beal later.
Yeah.
Bradley Beal left a lot of money on the table to sign a 2-year, $11 million.
Still got a lot of money.
He's
we'll
still
talk about it later.
Well, so does Damian Lillard, right? He's still getting paid by the Bucks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's made a ton of money in his career.
$103 million.
So he's not in it for the money at this point.
$103 million over the next 5 years from Damian Lillard for the Bucks to not have him on their
roster, right? So they could sign Miles Turner.
Right, so $21 million a year. So, I mean, Damian Lillard's not worried about bags. Like you said, we'll talk about the other superstar, Bradley Beal, leaving $14 million on the table to go sign with the Clippers. But, Damian Lillard should be, at this point in his career, like we talked about, just had his 35th birthday, will be 36 by the time he returns to NBA action. He should be looking for championships. I mean, what else is he looking for? He's accomplished everything besides MVP. You know what I mean? And Finals MVP, whatever. But he's been on all NBA teams. He's been All-Star. He's scored 70-point games. You know what I'm saying? Like
international competition.
Right. He's had all the accomplishments, but he doesn't have that last infinity stone, which is winning the championship. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm Damian Lillard, that's all I'm thinking about is winning. Now, the other thing is, like he said, financial stability or flexibility for the Celtics. Obviously, if we're living, the reason that the deal's probably not even done yet is because the Celtics do have to figure out another way to get back under the second apron. In this world,
because they are over it right now.
In this world, they would be we all think they're going to make deals regardless.
Sure.
Damian Lillard or not, you know what I mean? We think that some trades could still be coming down for the Boston Celtics. But with Damian Lillard, it would be kind of a sure shot that they would be making some kind of deal to free up some money so that they could bring him in for a veteran minimum contract and have him here for, $2-3 million a year, which would obviously be a steal for the Boston Celtics.
It would, and again, it's all about 2 years from now. It's not about next season, right? So you'd be carrying a player who's not going to help you this year, but I mean that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things because ultimately, Jason Tatum's going to come back. Jaylen Brown is still going to be on this team. Derek White is locked up as well. And so this is all about 2 years from now when you get Tatum back, when you get Lillard back, and then you build out your roster to compete for a championship once again. And having that first piece in Damian Lillard is going to be a huge step for them if they decide to go that route.
100%. Because here's the thing I know about Damian Lillard. Like, yes, when he was younger, he did have some explosive dunks in here and there. But he's not an above-the-rim kind of guy.
No.
This is a guy who gets away with scoring because of his savvy, because of his IQ.
Like a James Harden, right? Who's going to be 36 years old, right?
Exactly. So this is a guy who's going to come in and, he might not be able to get to that side step as easy, but, like, when you're pairing him next to a Jason Tatum, pairing him next to a Jaylen Brown who's now played a full year at that point, being the man, you know what I mean? Pairing him up with a Derek White. I mean, he's the fourth option.
I know.
And if you have a Damian Lillard as your fourth option, I mean, I feel pretty good about that, even if it's only catch and shoot opportunity.
Yeah, and again, I feel like at this point in his career, Dame understands that.
Right.
And if he signs with the Celtics, he definitely understands that, all right, this is my opportunity to win. It's not about the money. It's not about the numbers. It's about the ring.
And the thing that I know about Damian Lillard, this dude from Oakland, you know what I'm saying? He's a guy that has a dog in him. So he's hearing everybody doubt him, say that he can't win, he can't do this, he can't do that. Say, you know, he's dealt with, you know, the off the court issues now at this point, right? And he's been dealing with them in Milwaukee, and now it feels like he's getting past that.
Yep.
It's tough to deal with the things that he was going through, you know, off the court and still be mentally engaged the entire time into an NBA season, especially with a new team. Now it feels like he's past that. He's got that dog in him. If you don't think he's going to come in here and fight to tooth and nail to make sure that the Boston Celtics win a championship and that he wins a championship with an opportunity to do so on a cheap deal, you're crazy.
I think it's going to happen, man.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen. It feels right, but what do I know?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Common sense to me, it's a good handle, on Baylor Scheierman's development.
Yeah.
Baylor Scheierman is an average player and nobody to get your hopes up on. He's not as good as Aaron Nesmith, who played very well for the Pacers in the playoffs. This isn't that. He's offering a mid-level of skill set the Celtics don't need next year. We don't need him to come in and get an assist. We need a 3-and-D guy, and his defense is horrendous. Watch the last couple of plays, and Scheierman was the guy each and every basket was on. He was focused on he must be talking about the last Summer League game against the Heat. He was focused on putting up numbers on offense, still shot badly. He tried to make up for it in the way the main club doesn't need help. All right. He says it's simple. It's common sense to him.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's common sense to him.
What do you think about that?
I disagree. You know, well, I'll start with the Summer League thing, you know, the scoring. When you have Jordan Walsh stepping out, and he's the other, you know, second, third year, you know what I mean, kind of veteran presence on this team, right? And it's just him left to figure it out, you know, with Amari Williams once again sitting out of that game against the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
He's trying to do what Jordan Walsh left on the floor for him, which is scoring. You know what I mean? Jordan Walsh walked out of that game, you know, in 10 minutes, he scored 13 points. You know what I'm saying? So you needed somebody to fill that scoring role, especially with Hugo struggling the way he struggled in that game. And Baylor Scheierman took on that challenge. Was that his best game as a Boston Celtic? No, of course not. But if you're telling me you watched Baylor Scheierman play in the minutes that he played for the Boston Celtics during the regular season last year and say, he's trash and there's no way I could see him getting better and doing things that he needs to do, you're crazy. He came in and brought energy every single time he got in the TD Garden.
Absolutely.
He made shots. He cut like he was supposed to. He got offensive rebounds. He did all the little things. The Summer League is the Summer League. He's struggling a little bit to figure out his role within these young guys because he's trying to be a main guy on this team. But he knows when he goes back to that Boston Celtics team and he's playing behind the Jaylen Brown and he's playing behind the Derek White, he's going to have to subdue his role and he will figure it out.
Yeah, and I think that, all right, fine. If he's an average player in terms of like statistics or whatever, I mean, as long as he's bringing the energy, as long as he's filling a certain role, I mean, I'm good with that. I don't really take much from Summer League performances. Just looking at like the player and like you can watch and say, oh man, that guy's an energy guy, or that guy, you know, he's got potential from whatever. I don't really care about results. I care about the process. And Baylor Scheierman, I just like his skill set. I mean, you know, kid's young. Drafted him last year. I mean, give him a little bit of time. I'm not ready to, you know, I think the verdict is still out, you know, on Baylor Scheierman.
100%. And it's not fair to compare him to Aaron Nesmith. Nesmith was a lottery pick. This was a guy who was drafted number 30 in his draft. It's not the same.
All right, I want to skip to this one on another new guy on the roster. This is from Gulantani.
Gulantani, okay.
Yeah, Gulantani. Minott is a real sleeper. I like him a lot. He will turn heads this year. Okay. So we're talking about Josh Minott, obviously signed by the Celtics. It was in Minnesota. This is a player who, you know, I think we talked about. If you go on YouTube and you type his name, you see him dunking over D. White.
Yeah, you surely do.
In the game in Minnesota. Athletic
Yeah.
Another energy guy, needs to work on shooting from the outside, but I like the signing too for what the Celtics team is going to be next year.
100%. I think the thing that Brad brought me along with this kid was when he talked about him and he talked about Luka Garza, he talked about the fact that they played in a winning culture. And that's important, you know what I mean? Him playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves and seeing that team take the leaps and learning from Chris Finch and learning from the intensity of an Anthony Edwards and things like that, that matters, you know what I'm saying? So when you're talking about a guy, look, yes, the Celtics are taking flyers on a couple of guys here. That's been obvious, right?
Yeah.
They're not going out and getting the superstar. They're taking the young guys that they feel like they can build and that can buy into their culture, can do the things that Joe Mazzulla is asking for, can bring energy, can bring intensity, all of those things. When you're talking about a young guy, I mean, this kid is 22 right now.
Yeah.
And he can jump out the gym like you're saying, He played for an NBA, a high-level NBA player who was his coach in college in Penny Hardaway.
Yep.
He's developing his three. He's gotten better and better and better from three every single year. I mean, what more can you ask for from a kid who's 22? He's 22. I agree with Gulianti.
Yeah, Julie. Sorry, Gulantani.
Gulantani, sorry. There we go.
Yeah.
I agree with Gulantani. I really like Minott as well. You know, at first that knee-jerk reaction when you see it, it's like the who? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I knew who he was, but it was like, what are the Celtics doing? But then when I started to delve into the player that he actually is, I'm excited to see what his potential is with the Celtics.
And we talked about this on an earlier episode, a couple of weeks back. This year is a great opportunity for players like Josh Minott, right? To your point, to showcase themselves, to try and be a part of what the Celtics will be 2 years from now when Tatum comes back and, they sign Damian Lillard or whatever else, they decide to do to build around Tatum and Brown once again and make another run at it. And, having a player like Josh Minott who's going to get minutes, who's going to get an opportunity, it's a great it's a great platform for him here in Boston, considering the Celtic situation. All right, let's go to Scorched Source. Jason Tatum's ranking among NBA players. This is the Bleacher Report list, top 100. Tatum was ranked 93. Tatum shoots and misses too much to excite me. What?
That's all Scorched Source had to say.
That's a hot take.
That is a hot take.
So he shoots and misses too much.
I hate that. I do. Like, I mean, I hate it. I feel like everyone is always on, percentages and box score watchers and all this other stuff. But when you're watching a Jason Tatum game, I mean, you're seeing how quickly he gets himself involved into this offense and how the engine gets going because Jason Tatum gets going.
How about the most recent game that he played when he got hurt?
40.
He carried the Celtics.
Right.
He put on an absolute show.
Right.
I don't know where this is coming from, man. Like, I have no idea whose burner this could be.
Right.
Who's hating on Tatum.
Right.
But, I mean, I thought he deserved to be on the top 100 list because, again, like, this is a young player who is, 5 All-NBA teams?
Yes.
To start his career?
Yes.
Hello. That's legit.
Right.
Breaking news.
In the East.
Yeah.
When LeBron was in the East.
Yeah, when he was dunking over LeBron in the playoffs.
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think he absolutely deserved to be on the list. 93, I don't really have a problem with the ranking, I guess. I mean, that's fine.
I do.
You think it should be higher?
Once again, I mean, Luka's 57.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were on that Luka's 57.
Luka's 57 and Tatum is 93.
That is a big gap.
Come on, man.
That is a big gap.
So,
but those, again, not to get too deeply into the list, but those lists are so hard because you're taking players from every generation.
Yes.
And the game in the 50s is not the same the game today, obviously. The game in the 60s, 70s, 80s, even 80s in some way, shape, or form. So it's really hard to make these lists and make everybody happy. You're just not going to do it.
Right. I mean, he's so good that we're all, people in Boston are almost giving up on this, of punting on the full season just because, he's not playing.
Well, now the narrative is, was he going to be 100% when he comes back, right? I mean, that's going to be the big conversation on Jason Tatum. Eventually is is he going to be the same player? And then when you watch the first, 20 games, he's not the same guy. It's well, it's 20 games. Mark my words, that will be the conversation in Boston when he comes back.
All I'm saying is he looks pretty good right now.
Yeah,
doing those
right.
pull workouts and
Yep.
everything like that. But, Jason Tatum, take your time, dog.
All right, man. We're going to turn the page coming up. Talked about LeBron James. Speaking of, it's an interesting situation developing with the Lakers. We will talk about that coming up next. Welcome back. It's Hold My Banner, and it's the Summer League finale for the Celtics tonight against the Lakers before the Summer League postseason play. The Lakers and Bronny James will be the opponent for the Celtics, coming off a loss to the Heat last time out. They are 2-1 in Vegas.
Yeah.
Adam and Ountae back with you. So, Bronny has been playing pretty well
Yeah.
this summer compared to last summer for sure.
Yeah.
So that's good news for him. The question is he going to have another opportunity to play with his dad
Yeah.
in LA? Because those rumors are starting to heat up a little bit, and I think it all started when LeBron exercised his player option, which he doesn't do normally.
Ever.
Usually,
This is
right.
the first time I think they said it
yeah.
was in his career that
Right.
he let a contract expire. So
Yeah, so that way he could sort of restructure and extend and do all
Right.
those things, but he's not doing that this time, which leads people to wonder. It's like, all right, well, is LeBron retiring
Right.
after this season, or is he going to get traded? And so that is an interesting conversation because there are already some teams who, are listed as the favorites, in the betting world. And it looks like the Mavs are the new favorites to land LeBron James. With the Heat, two of his former teams, actually, the Heat and the Cavs, second and third, the Warriors, and then the Knicks, because, well, it's New York, probably, right? All right, so let's before we get into that,
yeah.
do you think that the Lakers' offseason has impacted LeBron's thinking?
I would say yeah. I think first of all, last night, when that tweet came through to my phone, I saw Bradley Beal was going to be a Los Angeles Clipper after it was talks about him being possibly a Laker. I mean, whatever. But
Right.
Lakers were one of the options, and so him not going there probably influencing LeBron just a little bit more today. I think the DeAndre Ayton stuff, obviously you and I have talked about DeAndre Ayton. And how
You're a big fan.
and how I felt about him coming to Boston. But, LeBron's he's a smart guy. He's a very smart guy. He knows who DeAndre Ayton is too. Now, what LeBron is thinking about DeAndre Ayton, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it's a big. It's better than no big.
Right.
But it's still, a guy that doesn't really fit the MO of a guy that fits with LeBron James. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He likes guys who are passionate, all in about basketball, focused 24/7, that kind of guy, because that's the kind of guy he is, right?
Yep.
So I would say that, this Lakers offseason, because they've been pretty quiet, to be honest.
Very quiet outside of Ayton, right?
Right. It's probably inspired him to probably look somewhere else.
Yeah, and I don't know if they think Luke is enough. I don't think if they, I don't know if they think that JJ Redick can, work wonders with this roster
Right.
again, because he did do a great job in year one. I would say with the Lakers overall.
Yeah, he did.
But
Surprisingly, but yes.
yeah, right. But with LeBron, and again, he's already played with his son Bronny, right? So that he's checked that off the list. What is his motivation at this point? Is it to win another title? Is it to, right? And we were talking about this before the show. Is it to further distance himself and all of these different categories where he's at the top of the list, namely points?
Right.
I just wonder what the motivation is. At this point.
I think it might be a little bit of all of it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I think it's, the potential to play with his son Bryce, who's, entering his freshman year at Arizona. I think it is to separate himself from anybody who thinks they can get the all-time points record, which even if he retired today, I don't think anybody's touching it in our lifetime. And I would love for someone to prove me wrong, because that would just be interesting. But,
Right.
I don't think that's going to happen. So, and I think it is to try to win another championship, because otherwise at this point, you're just kind of tarnishing your legacy. And we know that has always been the biggest thing
Yep.
for LeBron James, is his legacy.
The Mavericks are an interesting fit, right? Well, I mean, for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
So they're the favorites to land him.
Yeah.
You know, the trade, you know, that shocked the world this year with Luka Doncic going to the Lakers and Anthony Davis going to Dallas.
Yeah.
So now, if LeBron were to get traded to the Mavericks, you would have him a reunion with AD.
Yep.
You would have a reunion with Kyrie, who is going to be on the shelf for a while. And then on that live stream, it said he's not even sure if he's going to be available for a potential postseason run. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure that he probably will be. I think that's just Kyrie being Kyrie right there. So you'd have Kyrie, LeBron, AD, Cooper Flag, who is now in the mix.
Yeah.
But then you wonder, all right, well, what does that mean for Klay Thompson?
Yeah.
Klay Thompson be a part of that deal?
Yeah.
Would a Max Christie be a part of that deal?
Look, actually, it's so funny because you weren't expecting this, and I wasn't expecting you to, devolve into the trade details. But I did see a trade on Twitter, and I quickly
really?
I want to bring it up. This is a trade proposal from Scoop B. Robinson, and he sees LeBron and Bronny headed to Dallas. Yeah. It's
and Klay Thompson would be in that
Klay
deal.
Thompson, Daniel Gafford,
wow, that's
Max Christie, and PJ Washington going to LA. So I mean, this is your first time seeing this, because I just brought it up out of nowhere. But how would you feel about this trade?
If I were the Lakers, I'd love it.
Yeah.
I think I would.
Okay.
Right? Because you got some youth there.
Right.
To help you build. You got familiarity.
Right.
For Luka.
Luka and Klay back together, even though they only spent half the season together.
Yeah.
But the rest of the guys, obviously, besides Christie, he's played with as well. So.
Yeah, I would like that for the Lakers in terms of just being able to build around. Like, I mean, Klay's up there too, believe it or not, right?
Yeah.
About like the Warriors who are on this list of favorites.
Right.
Like, I mean, they're old.
Yeah.
Dallas would obviously get older too, but they're super talented, and I think that would catapult them to be NBA title favorites, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right, so now I got to ask you.
Yeah. What's up?
So I see some Eastern Conference teams. You said, two of them he used to play for with the Miami Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yep.
So also see the New York Knicks there. Mm-hmm. Now, we remember how tough it was for the Boston Celtics to get back to the finals when LeBron James was a member of the Eastern Conference.
Right.
If he came back to the East, and especially if he played with a team like Cleveland or New York, I'm not as afraid of Miami.
No.
But what would that spell for the Boston Celtics and their future over the next couple of years?
Well, I mean,
because I think just to preface this, I think if he does get traded, he's playing multiple years. It's not just this season that we're getting more years. So this bleeds into that year where we're banking on Dame and and Tatum to figure it out.
Right. I would think that I'm glad in a way that that's kind of a tough way to put it. I'm not concerned about 2 years from now with LeBron James being 42 years old.
Okay.
Right? I'm not.
Tell me how you really feel.
I'm not concerned about that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think that if he were to, let's say it's Cleveland.
Yes.
Right? And then that roster, which again, I think would be the favorites to go to the NBA Finals, large margin.
Right? This year. Yeah, for sure.
And, you got another year of wear and tear and a long playoff run. And then you go 2 years from now where you get Tatum back and, you maybe have a Damian Lillard.
Right.
I wouldn't be as concerned. It's not and again, all due respect to the greatness of LeBron James, right? I'm not a LeBron hater like a lot of people are. Like, LeBron James is up, obviously, right? We talk 1 and 2, he and Jordan.
Yeah.
But I just don't see him being the same guy that terrorized the Celtics in the later years.
You're right.
Right? Like, he's just not.
He's not that guy. He's not that guy now.
Just not.
So for 2 years from now, what would it look like? We were talking about this before the show because we knew we were going to talk about LeBron, and we were looking at the oldest guys.
Yeah.
And to play in an NBA game, you know what I mean? Maybe not have as long of a career as LeBron, obviously.
Yeah.
But they were, they started their career a little bit later, so they were older. But I'm thinking Vince Carter, Robert Parrish,
right?
Udonis Haslem. If those dudes were still walking around I'm being generous.
Yeah.
Walking around NBA courts.
Yeah.
At 43 and 44.
Right.
Then LeBron at 42.
Yeah.
Like in the way that he's looked compared to the way those dudes looked at 40. Because with those guys, we were already like, okay, old man, thanks.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For real,
We appreciate everything that you did, but you should be kicking the bucket here soon.
No,
you know
LeBron's a freak. LeBron's a freak, and I think, but even him, man, like at 42 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't strike fear in my heart like it used to when he was with the Heat.
You're right.
Back in the day.
You're right. This dude did finish 6th in the MVP votes this year.
Yeah.
So, I have to give him just a little credit. It's not the same fear.
It's just not the same fear.
But I might buckle a little bit if he jumps at me around the corner. I'm just saying, all right, just me, just a little bit.
But the question is it a package deal?
Right.
Does LeBron say, Bronny's coming with me?
Bronny's coming with me, and then you guys are drafting Bryce at the end of the summer or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe that's part of the
Maybe.
play.
I mean, okay, so if it's not a package deal, though, let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
If it's not a package deal,
Yeah.
is that better for Bronny to be away from his dad in Los Angeles?
It's a good question.
Or is it a worse situation for him now?
I think, oh man, that's a great question. I think in one way it would be good because it's like, all right, now like I'm the only James on the roster. I can make a name for myself rather than being LeBron's kid.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a perception of Bronny, and obviously there was protection there.
Right.
With LeBron, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Rich Paul is still his agent.
Yeah.
And he's the king. He's the kingpin.
And then the Stephen A. thing, like on the right, like that thing, like that's. I mean, you're not getting that same. I think ultimately it would be a better thing for Bronny.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
You?
I agree. I think it'd be good for Bronny to kind of get away from Pops and not having people. It's different. We don't know what's going on in that locker room.
Yeah.
But there's guys who are probably in that locker room who feel like they should be getting opportunities in this and this and that. Mm-hmm. And maybe Bronny gets a minute here or two where he's eating up minutes of guys that feel.
Yep.
Not saying they're right.
Right.
But they might feel like, dude, you're only getting. I can play 2. You're getting these minutes because of Pops.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
All right, we'll see how it plays out with LeBron and the Lakers. As far as the other team that plays in Los Angeles, the Clippers, well, they made a big move. Do they have enough to overtake the Oklahoma City Thunder? Could the Clippers be favorites to win the title after their latest move? We'll talk about that next. Welcome back to Hold My Banner, and this news breaking yesterday afternoon with Bradley Beal agreeing to a buyout with the Suns and has joined the Clippers on a 2-year, $11 million deal with a player option after clearing waivers. And Beal had a player option of $57 million, and so the Suns are able to stretch out a little bit of that money for salary cap purposes, and Beal ends up giving up $13.9 million in order to make this thing work. So it's Adam and Ountae back with you. So we finished last segment talking about the Lakers, and it's like, oh man, is LeBron James out of town? What's the status of that team? Well, now you got to ask yourselves, what's the status of this Clippers team? Who now has Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
And if you take a look at the Clippers lineup, I mean, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
With Beal in there. You already had Harden and Beal and Kawhi Leonard. You just got John Collins in a trade.
Yeah.
So you added some size there with Zubats.
Yep.
And then you take a look at
You
the
got
bench.
Dunn, Christie, Batum, Bogdanovich, Derrick Jones Jr., Lopez, Brown.
Yeah. And mind you, by the way, Norman Powell is in Miami now.
Yeah.
So they lose some scoring there, but they get it back with Beal. Plus you have Collins, which gives you the more size. So what do you think of the Clippers roster?
Man, I mean, I think the John Collins deal kind of like, when this happened yesterday, I was like, oh yeah, that's decent. And I was like, wait, didn't they make another trade this all season? Like, who did they get back for Norman? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They got a young guy that I wanted to see here in Boston playing the 4 to replace Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, John Collins is just, I mean, we didn't talk too much about him on this show, but I mean, that ad was a tremendous ad for them. And then, Bradley Beal on a $50 million deal, like you were saying, awful.
Yeah.
No secret about that. It didn't work out. You know what I mean? It wasn't good.
Right.
5?
Yeah.
5?
Yeah, that works.
That works for me. So if I'm a Los Angeles Clipper fan, which I'm not, but if I am sitting at home right now, I'm excited about the ceiling of this team. Now, we know this team can be up and down. It was a roller coaster for them last year.
Yeah.
There was times where they looked like they were one of the best teams in the West. There was times where they looked like they didn't know how to play basketball at all. But they ended up finishing in one of those top seeds in the Western Conference last year. Faced that Denver Nuggets team that was, just awfully tough. Took them to 7, which no one really thought they were going to do.
That's a tough draw in the first round.
It is.
Yeah.
But, they could be out in the first round again because of the draw that they get. Or this could be a team that could, for the first time, honestly, not a knee-jerk reaction. I've taken my time to think about this. First time reach the NBA Finals.
Wow.
This could be.
Really?
It could be.
See, I look at this roster and I say they're old.
They are.
And I look at this roster and I say, how many games can Kawhi Leonard play this year?
Right.
Right? And that's always been an issue with Kawhi.
I'm with you, but I don't care. I don't care.
About the regular season.
I only want. You saw how Kawhi was playing in that playoff series.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He was ready to go.
For sure.
That's all I need out of Kawhi Leonard.
All right.
But I hear you.
Right. And then again, but that goes back to my original point just about the age factor. It's like you got 2 guys who are in their mid-30s.
Right.
Right? And Kawhi and James Harden, your 2 most important players.
Yeah.
Right? At the end of the day. And so, an injury could derail this team, but you could say that about a lot of teams. So I try to be fair in that way.
Yeah.
But I think Beal is looking at this as an opportunity to win, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yes, 100%.
And this is what we were talking about earlier with Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, where is Damian Lillard at in his career? All right, he's going to be 36 years old. 2 years from now, when he's back on the court, what is the priority for him? Is it money? No, he's made over $100 million. Yeah. Is it, stats? No, right. He's already proven, what type of player he is, right? Future Hall of Famer, I would assume. Yeah. With Beal, he's made the money. He wants to win at this point.
Yeah.
Right? So he looks at this roster and says, yeah, this is my opportunity. And him turning down the Lakers tells you everything you need to know, because he's looking at that roster versus this roster and saying, I have a better chance to win with this LA team.
Yeah, and I just think Intuit Dome as a whole helps them out. You know what I'm saying? That playoff energy, that wall that they built in there. You heard NBA players talking about it all year last year, and it wasn't even just talking about it. There were stats to back it up. It was one of the worst free throw percentage shooting arenas in the league.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it was actually first
by
a large margin. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that energy that they bring into Intuit Dome, that wall, the effects that it has on people's shooting percentages, the way it helps the Clippers kind of get to a different spot. I mean, they looked like a different team in the playoffs last year. They felt like a team that I was like, man, this team could really be a contender. And honestly, when you think about it, if they didn't run into that Nuggets team, they might have really had a chance at being a contender. Health is the only thing that scares me for this team, right? That's honestly, the only thing that I'm fearful.
Absolutely.
James Harden, Kawhi, John Collins, Beal.
Yep.
Even when you look at a Brook Lopez, and
he's 37 years old.
Right, in his later years. Nicholas Batum in his later years.
Right.
Can these dudes stay healthy enough to make that push? If they do, though, this team could be a team that we're talking about at the end of next year, where we're like, man, the Clippers really figured it out. It could be. And I trust, you know what I trust more than anything? Tyronn Lue.
Yeah.
I trust Tyronn Lue with my heart, with my life. I trust him to do whatever he wants on the basketball court, because he can really coach a team to inspire a team to get the things that they need to do. When you add the guy like Chris Dunn too, I mean, the defense is going to be immaculate for this team. Yes, Beal struggles defensively, but Harden.
Well, that's not why you got him.
Right. But Harden has started to buy in a little bit more. You know what Kawhi is going to do. You know what Zubac is going to do. This team got better this summer.
Yeah, they did. But they're old. And they're injury prone. But it does, and again, you're right, ceiling's high for this team. It does remind me a little bit of the Celtics back in the KG, Ray, and Pierce days.
Right.
Because they were an older team and they were in win now mode.
Right.
And they tried to surround those three guys with veterans like Shaq, like Jermaine O'Neal. They brought in guys to try and offset some of that age, just bringing in talent and reputation.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it just didn't work out. And you know, who knows? But I just think, you know, looking at like the West.
Yeah.
The West is good, man.
Talk to me, yeah.
Like the West is
KD
good.
with the Rockets now.
Yeah.
They were a 2 seed last year. They only got better. OKC coming back healthy now. I mean, Jalen Williams wasn't even healthy.
Right.
During the playoff run, and they ended up winning an NBA championship. So, you know, you only expect them to get better.
Can't count Denver out.
Can't count Denver out. The Lakers were a 3 seed out of the center this year, so they should be slightly better than they were last year. You know what I mean? A full year with Luka and LeBron together.
Assuming he stays.
The Nuggets got, the Nuggets got incredibly better. They made some great deals for their team as well this year. I mean, you would assume that San Antonio, we're not even talking about them, that they're going to, make a leap now that they got, number 2 pick and Dylan Harper, and they got Wemby coming back, and hopefully he's cleared to play basketball now, but hopefully playing a full season.
Yeah.
I mean, the Minnesota Timberwolves, another year of continuity with them. You would think that their young group is, starting to mesh together and get better. So, yeah, I mean, I probably will put them at, they finish in the 5 seed. I probably have them finishing in the 4 right now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's all about matchups when you talk about NBA playoffs, and that's why, and health.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying if they are healthy and they draw the right matchups, their ceiling is an NBA Finals.
Yeah, and I think and I think you alluded to this earlier when I talked about the age and the health and how many games Kawhi Leonard are going to play. You just got to get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You just got to get to the playoffs, and then if you're healthy in the playoffs, if this Clippers team is healthy in the playoffs, they are as dangerous as anybody in that Western Conference. But you have a lot of teams who are dangerous in the Western Conference, right? We're not talking about the East, right? If you put this team in the Eastern Conference, you're like they're the favorites to win the East.
Right. Yeah.
Right? I mean, I would think. But yeah, no, Bradley Beal, and it's funny, man. I look at Bradley Beal, and that was somebody that, like, here in Boston, people thought Beal was going to be, right? Like, you were going to see Beal, like, there was talks about, like, trading Jaylen Brown, to get Bradley Beal here, and Tatum and Beal, obviously the St. Louis connection, right? And so you thought those two guys were going to be, playing together in Boston.
Yeah.
But obviously it didn't work out that way. But
No.
yeah, no, I mean, I think the Clips moves are pretty good. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
We'll see how it plays out. Hey, speaking of playing, we're gonna play a game, Poeltl.
Yeah.
After the break, I love playing. We'll see what happens. we nailed it last time, and we play the game. We figure out the player, then we talk about that player. It's a lot of fun. Stay there. All right, we're back. Adam and Ountae here with you. We got to the favorite part of the show for me, man.
Let's do it.
I've enjoyed the show so much, but this is a lot of fun. Let's play some Poeltl.
Poeltl!
The NBA guessing game. We got to figure out the player, and we're going to have you help us out if you can. Like, just shout it. Maybe we'll hear you. But anyway. All right. Let's get it up on the screen. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, here we go.
Here we go. Let's start it up. Gotta get the.
Gotta get that. Yeah.
Get the mads out the way, dog.
All right, cool. All right, so.
All right, man.
What do you want to do?
Who you want to start with? I'll let you pick this time.
We'll start with. Let's go because we were talking so much about the Lakers and the Clippers and the West. Let's go with the Pacific Division.
Okay. Pacific Division. What player do you want to get from there, though?
Right. That's right. I gotta guess the player.
Yeah.
Let's go with Steph Curry.
Steph. Okay, we can start with Steph. That's fine.
Why not?
Let's do it. All right, Steph. Let's see what he's out there doing. Mr. Curry.
Yeah.
All right, so it's around the guard, taller, younger, number under 30, not in the Western Conference. So we're looking for.
I nailed it, huh?
Eastern Conference. All right. So we're looking for any guy in the East that's younger, kind of a guard.
Okay.
This is always confusing because it's like, are we talking about a guy who used to play in the 24-25 season?
Right. Okay.
Man, I don't know. I'm looking for a younger guy under 30. I don't know why. I'm thinking about this guy because he's been playing well in Summer League right now. What about Ron Holland?
Oh, wow.
I'm going with a really young guy, which I probably should have split the difference a little bit. So All right, so they're in the East, not in the Central Division, but they are 6'8".
6'8".
And they're around 00, so it's probably 0 or 1. A player who wears 0 or number 1 in the Eastern Conference.
Okay.
Over the age of 20, of course. Yeah, I should have probably guessed that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, so
So Atlantic or Southeast Division? 0 or 1.
How about
6'8".
How about Jason Tatum?
Okay, let's see it. Let's see. Jason Tatum. It is Jason Tatum.
No way!
Let's go.
Let's go! Even better than last time, man.
We get to talk about our
We get to talk about Jason Tatum.
A little bit longer. All right, so look,
Man.
Jason Tatum. All right, if you're Jason Tatum, let me ask you this, right? Do you still have aspirations of winning league MVP?
Wow, that's a great question. I think absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Maybe now more than ever.
Okay.
Because not only are you trying to prove that you're that guy, but you're trying to prove that guy after an Achilles injury.
Yeah.
Right? So you've already got the chip.
Yep.
Now you get the individual success as well to go along with that.
Yeah.
You know, because I think that there are still people out there that question whether or not Jason Tatum can be the guy without Jaylen Brown. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's still a question mark for some, maybe not most, but I think that he probably, I would say that you're more motivated now than ever to win the MVP.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, here's what I think about Jason Tatum. I think he's looking at Kevin Durant, and I know that Kevin Durant's talking about this, like how he's the Achilles guy.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, Kevin Durant is we were just talking about him because he's going to bring Houston to another level that we think, a championship level team, and he's doing this post-Achilles, post-years after an Achilles tear, And so I think Jason Tatum, when you're looking at him for the last couple years, he hasn't been that guy that's dunked on LeBron.
No.
He's been more of the finesse Jason Tatum. He's been more, yes, he gets to the rim. Yes, he dunks the ball. He does that. He's 6'8". He's going to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, as far as his development as a player, he's become more reliant on that jump shot, more reliant on, getting to the free throw line, doing things of that nature.
Which we saw in that last game against the Knicks before he got hurt.
100%.
Yeah.
So I think, he's going to continue to, the thing about an Achilles is, you can't run, but you can still do your form shooting. You can still work on your touch. And as you work your way back in the playing, that is what you're working on. You're working on your skill. You're working on your ball handling. You're working on your shooting at a higher level. I remember when Kobe broke his right.
I was just going to say Kobe,
Kobe broke his right hand, and we love talking about Kobe when we talk about Jason Tatum because that's his favorite player growing up. But, when Kobe broke his right hand and he's in that cast, and there's that famous picture of him at the free throw line in pajama pants shooting with his left hand, and he's made corner threes with his left hand, and he's, made a lot of shots, and his left hand developed all because of that injury. I think Jason Tatum's jump shot, our commenter earlier was talking about how he shoots too much and doesn't make it.
Yeah, right.
Now I feel like he's going to be making them a lot more at a higher clip because he's going to be working on that throughout his rehabs.
Yeah. Jason Tatum, 4th in the MVP voting this past season. He's been 4th twice. He's been 6th twice.
Yeah.
It's a tough hill to climb, not just with the injury, but just overall, right?
Right.
I'm trying to get past some of the guys that, that are ahead of you, in that regard.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think Tatum is also, not an explosive, I wouldn't call him an explosive scorer.
Right.
Right? But still averages 27, what was it, 27 a game last year or whatever it was. Can still, in a couple of years ago, that's right, he averaged 30.
Right.
Which is, right, so a quiet 30, I would say, in a lot of ways, right? That was the year they made the NBA Finals and lost. No, that was the Eastern Conference Final year. The year before that was the NBA Finals to the Warriors. I think he's motivated by that, and I think he's going to come back earlier. The more I think about it, the more we talk about it and how ahead he is, and there's rehab. Yeah, I kind of expect him back next year now. I kind of expect him back because we've talked so much. We've been talking about 2 years from now, and the possibility of Lillard and Tatum. I kind of expect him to come back next year.
Look, I just thinking about that, like that tweet, that Jason Tatum is available tweet is gonna hit in my vein.
It is, man.
Like sugar, dog. Like, man, like a little kid on sugar too. I'm gonna be all off the walls, probably like your kids when they get a little sugar and themselves a little ice cream, go out with the grandparents. That's how it's gonna be hitting for me when I see that Jason Tatum available tweet, bro.
Yeah.
Because like if he does come back and we start hearing the little flutters and this team is sitting in that 6 seed or 5 seed.
With
like
the Eastern Conference the way it is right now.
Right, exactly. And, some of these teams that we think are going to be good are not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how it works. I remember thinking that the Kings were going to be good last year, and they weren't. You know what I'm saying?
Pacers are going to take a step back.
Right,
the
what I mean?
Halliburton thing, and Miles Turner's in Milwaukee.
100%. So some of these teams that we think are going to be good are not. Right. That's just the honest truth. And so if Jason Tatum does come back with, 10 games left, and, they're sitting there in that 5 seed looking good, maybe even higher. I heard some people saying that they think they're going to be a 4 seed by Christmas, you know what I'm saying? So, when that happens and you got Jason Tatum coming back, like in your world where you think he is, man, I'm all in.
I think it's a possibility, man. And I think that, we started this whole thing, asked me if I thought he was motivated to win the MVP.
Yeah.
I think he's motivated to come back early. I think that's step one in the process.
Right.
He's working his way back.
Yeah.
And I absolutely envision, like a late March sort of return. Whew. For Jason.
Hey, speaking into existence, Adam, I'm just teasing, getting ready for it, dog.
So I think that's a possibility, but we'll see how things play out. And honestly, there's a lot of offseason left to go.
There is.
We're talking about this as if the rosters are set going into the year across
100%.
the NBA. No way, man. Remember we were talking about Giannis possibly being traded at one point? That's still a possibility. LeBron could get traded. A lot of stuff could happen between now and then, and we will be here with you every step of the way.
Yes, we will.
All right, man, that was a good time.
Yeah, it was. It was great.
We nailed Poeltl, too. Oh, yeah, we did.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Let's go.
Take your credit.
All right, man. We'll see you next Tuesday on the latest episode of Hold My Band. See you then.
Peace.